Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you. If you're catching this on the replay, we appreciate you doing that. Let me just give you a couple of reminders to like, subscribe, and share to our channel. And of course, if you want to support us, go to our PayPal account, which is right there on our YouTube channel. Feel free to do that. It is Monday night here. I don't know what the date is sometime. 56 degrees, I'm looking at my thermometer. So it's warmed up a little bit, a little chilly. But right now, it's still not, super warm out. So we haven't got much done today, except for aggravating my doggies. But we trying to get some things done here. But we appreciate everybody being here and joining us. You're catching us on the replay. All right. We'll kind of not get too excited until we get people in here. Well, hello. How are you? Rishi, how are you? Trying to type something real quick, my friend. There you go. How are you doing? What's going on in your world? You're absolutely good? Nice. Well, we're doing all right. It's, looking forward to spring and summer in this part of the world, and it's not here yet, but it's going to get there. And, man, we got a lot going on in the next few weeks, the next few months. I mean, a lot going on here. So we seem to be busy whether we want to or not. Tim says, good evening. Everybody say hello to everybody, please. Make sure you say, well, hello, how are you? It is 7:16 p.m., 56 degrees. Tim, how are you? Thank you for saying hello. A reminder, if you didn't subscribe to Fishing with the Pack, please do. I got 11 subs, and I need 50 to go live this summer. So, but we appreciate anybody's effort into that. But here it's 5:30 a.m. I'm on my way to university. Excelente. Man, I remember those days when I was off to the university, both as a teacher and as a student, and sometimes one and the same, right? I absolutely hated early morning classes. So I took one 7:30 class one time and decided never again. Uh-oh, you got a volcano eruption. Is it going to turn out to be a big deal, Tim? Let me Google too. I got to drink some tea. Let me see if I can Google that volcano, Tim. There's a lot going on in America, I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube about the fishing captain. That's big news in America right now, that idiot fishing captain. Everybody, stressing over the tariffs and all of that is big issue every day here. But the stock market's coming back. I bought a bunch of stock today on some things that I invest in. Let's see if we can find it. Stockdale, yay, you're back. I am back, thank you. Ash is going up over 4,000 meters. That's a volcano blast, wow. Let's see if I can pull up any information about it. Stockdale, how are you? Thank you for being here. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Big volcano. Crap. Yeah, we're back in the saddle. You know, as the weather warms up in my part of the country, I'll be getting back to doing live streams more and more frequently, more consistently. It doesn't, I'm just looking at some internet reports, Tim, about the eruption. Says it's still weakening, but going on. Doesn't say anything about, to be honest, a whole lot. Elizabeth Moore, I love your hat. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I love hats and tropical shirts, as you guys all know, so thank you. Now, you guys need to say hello to each other if you haven't done that. If you have a YouTube channel, let us know so we can make sure everybody goes to your channel. Well, I found it, Tim. You may have, but I don't think you did, but I found it. It's spelled correctly. It's in the Negros Oriental. It's alert number 3. But what I find about the thing, they're kind of playing it down, it seems. Like, yeah, there's a volcano eruption. Yeah, yeah, whatever. There are some videos on YouTube apparently. So Elizabeth, how is Elizabeth doing? We appreciate all of you guys with us. We do indeed. My beautiful wife, if you wanted to know, is working. She's went to work today. It is Monday, so she had to go back to work. We were busy this weekend. I don't know what we did, but we were busy. It feels like, well, we did clean house some. We did some housework. What? And we went to Walmart. We ate at the Cracker Barrel, and just working on some stuff. My dog, not. So yeah, it's exciting times. Tim. I don't know if since I fish a lot, and I have been on many fishing charters. That fishing captain, if you guys haven't seen it, on YouTube, who goes berserk towards some young fisherman, he turned out to be 22 years old, on a boat, threatening him, accusing him of whatever, who knows, and accusing him of not using his lights in the morning, but it was afternoon. He went over and jumped on his boat and threatened to kill him and beat him up. Well, he's in jail now for burglary because apparently, and I didn't know this, but if you jump on somebody's boat uninvited, that's burglary because you broke into somebody's property. I didn't realize that, but they consider the boat the same thing as your house. And what was being said was that guy, if the young kid would have pulled out a poo-poo, not my dog, but a poo-poo, and aimed it at him and shot him and killed him, it would have been under the stand your ground laws, and the kid would have been justified. Because once and he may be charged with piracy, and some of the interesting things. He's going to lose his captain license for sure, which he should, but he'll probably lose his, he may be charged under federal laws. It's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. And what I'll tell you is this. Since I booked a lot of fishing charters in my life, if my fishing captain would have behaved like him, I would have pulled him down and I would have laid into that fishing captain. So I wouldn't have I would have told my fishing captain, you better get my happy butt back to the dock because I'm not dealing with you being this type of guide. So, but it turns out that everybody on the boat was pretty much just drunk. Apparently they weren't catching any fish, but they were spending the day sucking down Budweiser. So none of them were in their right mind. But he has been charged and arrested. That's through the local government. Next up is the state is going to take away his charter's license, ban him forever from chartering, so he can never do a business again. He can never be a guide for another company ever again. So, And then there's some dilemma, I guess, guys. that, man, I got a pretty shirt on. You guys like my shirt? This is a nice looking shirt. Yeah. There's some question about him with stolen valor because I saw this where I guess he's on his boat when he's ranting and raving and everything. He's telling the kid, I'm an Army Ranger. Apparently, he wasn't an Army Ranger. He was qualified to be a Ranger, but he wasn't a Ranger. So I guess there's some classifications and things. So an Army Ranger is an Army Ranger. You can be qualified to be one and not be one, I guess, because maybe there's only so many slots. So maybe they only allow you 200 Army Rangers. And so there's kind of like a waiting list, but he never became an Army Ranger. So some of the Army Rangers are mad at him because he said that he was, and he wasn't. And by saying that he was an Army Ranger, he's given the impression that Army Rangers are bad. So they're all mad at him, so that's funny. The fishing captains and charter boat industry is really mad at him. And the sad thing is he has a fairly common name. So I saw that there's a couple other fishing captains who have names similar to them that social media has been crucifying. So they've had to go out publicly and say, look, see my face? I don't look anything like him. I am not him. I am not whatever the guy's name is. So I don't know. I think it's exciting and fun. You know, I feel bad for the fishermen. I know fishing is crazy these days. But I tell you, he's so lucky, the guy, the bad captain, that he tangled with some 22-year-old kid. Because, and this is something I like to tell people that I've learned personally and you know, in my world I've experienced. You don't know who that person is that you're running your mouth to. Now, he got lucky and ran into some nice 22-year-old kid. He's lucky the kid didn't pull out a gun, shoot him. He's lucky that guy wasn't, you know, wasn't one of the types, maybe like myself, who has an attitude that if that guy would have jumped on my boat, I would have killed him. So I would have beat him to death with a fishing rod. So, you know, he's really lucky that all he's done has been arrested. And he's going to lose his license and his livelihood and all that. And now he's, life is good. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the thumbs up. How you been? Life is good, good, good. So he's really lucky that he ran into some kid. He would have, and maybe he only did it because it was a kid. Maybe he was a weak-looking guy on a boat, so he thought he could bully him. But he is, what I'm telling you, between road rage, what you see in road rage, and bullying and fishing and everything, Mr. I am the greatest fishing captain in the world, charter captain in the world, lucky he survived that encounter. So, life is good. How are you? What's going on with you? Thank you very much for the thumbs up, by the way. So it's a pretty nice day here. Life is good, and a little cool still. We're warming up into the 70s this week. I don't know if I'm going to get any like fishing done or anything, but I know we're just happy it's warming up. We had over, I don't know, I got to double check. I think we had almost 6 inches of rain in 48 hours. So the rain has finally moved out. Valencia is close to Dumaguete. The old grandpa shot and killed the granddaughter's boyfriend, thinking he was an intruder in the dark of that. Yeah, happens, right? There's a case of that here in America, I think it was last year, where some kid with mental health issues who dated a girl 4 or 5 years ago, of course, they were no longer in contact, but it wasn't bad. The girl didn't, you know, they just broke up and it was gone, right? And so what happened was, I guess the kid had some mental issues. He moved back in the area, wanted to hook back up with the girl, and asked one of the friends, hey, what's her Facebook? And the girl didn't want anything to do with him, so she didn't even acknowledge. But it was like within the same day. Well, he came a knocking. He came to their, found out their address, came to the home, followed them, I guess, mom and daughter, the girl, got out of the car, was coming to the house, and literally within a minute or so, the guy was banging on the door, trying to break into the house, and Daddy, luckily, shot and killed the guy, justifiably. Actually, I have Stockdale. I actually have. I've been attacked by a dog. You can't. I'll share with you if you want. I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but make sure you say hi to everybody. We need you guys saying hi. You guys want to hear how I was attacked? Because it definitely has affected my world. I can tell you that. Yes, I've been attacked, and I've been attacked twice, and I learned something from the very first attack. So I was attacked when I guess I was probably 10, 10 to 12. I don't know my exact day. In the Philippines, dog attacks do happen. Sure, I would imagine they do. Yeah, especially with the ass cows. I probably don't pronounce the street dog name of ass cow properly, but you guys know what I mean, right? The street doggies. But we lived I've told you guys we were very poor. We're very poor now, but growing up we lived in a trailer park, and it wasn't horrible, but we lived in a trailer park. And one day I was down by the common area, the pool. I think I was 10 to 12. I don't know. I don't know how old I was. But one of the girls, older girls, like 16, 17, one of the girls had a Great Dane. And for some reason, inside this enclosed area where like the swing set was, fenced in, the the Great Dane apparently didn't like something about me. I was a big kid, but so the dog apparently didn't like something about me and decided to take a chunk out of my face. That's why I wear a beard. I have a beard. See, my wife calls it a beardy, but I have a beard, always have since I could grow one. I've never gone clean shaven because I have a massive W-shaped scar in my face. Now it's faded some, but when I was young, you could see this big ass scar all through high school, junior high, elementary school. So I lived with this big scar on my face growing up until I could grow facial hair. And once it started to grow in, I never changed. And partly that's kind of like why my facial hair, you probably can't see it, but it's a little distorted because my skin didn't line up very well. Back in those days, they probably thought they did a good job, but if it would have happened today, I bet you the plastic surgeon, somebody could make the scar a lot better. Back then, it was deep, thick, and hard. Raised like a big welt. But it was a big W, so that was the first time I was attacked by a dog. Yeah, and I can't remember how many stitches, but it was like well over 100, inside and outside. Dog took a big gigantic chunk out of my face. I guess I'm lucky he didn't decide to eat it. There are dog packs everywhere. Oh, I know, man. I had my lip removed by a dog when I was 7. Damn. Tim, I can relate. Stockdale, it was a Great Dane, one of those really tall, big dogs. Out and about with M&D. Evening. Good evening. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. Let's say hello to everybody, by the way. So, yeah, I can't remember, but it was hundreds of stitches. So it was pretty gruesome. I got to admit, all through junior high with no facial hair. In high school, I started to grow facial hair. It started to come in. But I got pictures of me where, like my football pictures and things, big ass scar, It's probably why so many people were scared of me growing up. I was a tough kid, a mean kid, and didn't put up with anything. So I definitely, but the scar probably sent signals. Tim says, hello to good. Life is good. Hello to you. Great Dane can be a lady with long. Yes, I was attacked by a German Shepherd. Oh, all right. Well, the second time I was attacked by a German Shepherd, and I did things totally different. I mean, after this happened, I was probably this time 14 or 15. I was a few years older, and same place. I think it was the neighborhood we lived in, and a German Shepherd came at me, and leaped. I don't know what to do. I don't know why the dog hated me or didn't like me. I don't know where it's from. I didn't know the dog. The Great Dane and the girl I've seen in the trailer park before, but this German Shepherd I never saw before. German Shepherd came at me. Luckily, I grabbed it. I grabbed it by the head, the neck, and I threw it to the ground, went to the ground with it. And what I found out the hard way, the smart way, I don't know, what I found out is if I stuck my hand in their mouth, jammed it way back here, they couldn't bite. They couldn't do anything. And I had the dog's lower jaw, and I love dogs because I have two dogs. But I had that dog's lower jaw and my hand shoved all the way in like this, like a remote, all the way like this. I controlled that dog. I could pick that dog up, move that dog, roll that dog, and eventually somebody came and got their dog, but I had their dog, and their dog wasn't doing anything. Dogs can be dangerous, Life is Good says. Hi, Tim, good to see you. Everybody say hello to Floor. Floor's in the house. Thank you for coming in and supporting. I've been meaning to get to your channel, and one of these days I'm going to get back there because I like watching your live streams. She has great live streams, by the way, if you guys don't know that. So I try to get to everybody's live streams as much as I can, but sometimes it's hard, we get busy. We do our live streams, right, which takes 2 or 3 hours. Then you get busy, and the wife wants you to go purse shopping, So, but we support anybody. We want everybody to grow their YouTube channels, whatever it is. You can drop if you're blue. Remember, guys, you can drop the link to your channel or a video without asking. So you don't got to ask me, hey, can I drop a link? If you're blue, feel free to go ahead and do it anytime you want. So I do ask maybe if you guys if you haven't already done it, and I know a lot of you have, if you guys will go and subscribe to Fishing with Pack. That's going to be my new fishing channel. But I'm just going to do live. I'm not worried about monetization. I want to do live streams on it, so I need 50 subs. And I got like 11. So, but it's a new channel. So, Linda, hey, I'm doing good, man. I saw that you were live the other day, but I just couldn't get to your live stream. I saw it pop. It came through the notifications. And remember, guys, when you go to these people's channels, go there, watch a video, at least one, make a comment, give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, subscribe to the channel that way, and then hit the alert bell. That's the right way to subscribe to YouTube channels, all right? But so I didn't get a chance, but I saw that it come through on my phone, but we were busy somewhere. Your friend Pat's in the house. Yes, Tim, life doesn't stop because of YouTube. That's correct, man. If anything, Tim, YouTube kind of gets in the way sometimes. I mean, it really does, believe it or not. I mean, we'd like to have a great channel. We'd like to have people give us money. We'd like to make money off of YouTube. Trust me, but life gets in the way, Everybody say hello to Pat. Pat, say hello to everybody. So, yes, Tim, I thank you for that. It's the weird thing is I just want to be able to do live streams on it, and all you got to do is have 50 people now, and I'll get there. I mean, I'm not doing any live streams. I'm not doing any fishing at the moment, but here in a couple weeks, we're going to be in Alabama and Florida. Florida and Alabama is where we're going to be, and we're going to do some fishing, and I would like to use my fishing channel to do live. I like to do that and see if I can make something cool. Hello, Pat. Hello, Floor. Miss you, everyone. Soul says, yes. Yes, for my wife, who is the most beautiful Filipina to ever come out of the Philippines, sorry everybody, just the way it is at work. So she's been working. She's a working girl. I told her, go make that money, honey. Woohoo! Yes, yes, Pat says, like I been did. All right, good. So that's, we're gonna go. We're getting excited about our vacation, our house hunting vacation. I don't know what you want to call what we're gonna do. Claude's in the house. Hello, money, money, money. We all need it, right, Claude? We got a PayPal account. If anybody wants to throw money into that, I'm trying to raise enough money to buy a beach house. Nobody's helped me with that one yet. Maybe if I say I need a new foot or something, or surgery or something like that, people would do it. But so, Claude, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you, buddy. We do. And one of these days, we are planning to go down to the Houston area. I don't know when. We're going to go to Dallas in June for the weekend. But one of these days, we're going to meet you guys down in Texas, or if you travel this way. Tim says, Pat, just turn around and you can go fishing. Oh, yeah. I don't got to turn around, man. I'm a good enough fisherman. I could get my lure in there. I could do the hook shot. Daisy, settle down. Be nice, yeah, it'd be good to hook up. I like to meet other channels and people. We've done a few of them, and it's really nice. Yep, fish from the couch. I know, but my wife might get mad if I catch her fish. Those are my wife's fish. So I don't know if I can do that. She might get mad at me for that one. So if you guys haven't subscribed to us, our channel, please do. If you haven't subscribed to any of the other channels out here, all the blue channels. Now remember, Claude, if you want to drop a link to your channel, you can. Tim, same thing. Anybody who's blue can always welcome to drop your link. So I've been bringing out some of my older, new, I like this shirt. You guys like this shirt? Do I look good in it? Is it pretty? Does it look good on TV? It's one of my favorite shirts. I got a little too fat for it. But, yeah, you got to hit that button. That's right. Yeah, we need some more thumbs uppers. But I really like this shirt. I've lost 60 pounds so far. So some of my most favorite tropical shirts are way too big. So this weekend I went and threw them in the closet. I've been putting them because they're too big. Even my new tropical Santa shirts are gigantic. I don't know how I'm going to wear them at Christmas, but we'll figure that out. So I've been bringing out some of my shirts I haven't worn in a while. Out and About's dropping a link. Just be careful when you cook them. Yes. Stockdale says, I am your biggest fan. Excelente. Woohoo. At least somebody is. You like this shirt? I like it. I think it's really, let me see if you guys, I like it. It's very comfortable. And it's one of the ones that if you sweat in it, it's going to dry, pretty quickly. So that's one thing I like about it. But, I try to match hats. You see there's a little bit of blue in this hat. It's supposed to kind of go with that. I do got a blue watch that kind of goes with this. And I also got a wood watch. Have you guys ever seen the watches that are made out of wood now? Those are really cool. I like them. I like to have more of them. And somebody gave me one as a gift. And it matches my hat and stuff. So, shirt looks good. Shirt looks nice. Yes, see, I like it. I told Lorelai, my beautiful wife, I'm kind of sad because some of my favorite shirts that I really liked wearing are just way too big after dropping 60 pounds. And I know I probably don't look like I've lost any weight because I'm just a fat guy, and I'm okay with that. But 60 pounds down, some of the favorite shirts are, grouped together on a hanger in the closet now. Michael's in the house. Michael Moore, hey, hello again. Thank you for being here. Everybody say hello to Michael Moore. Thank you for coming in. Be right back, Soul Linder says. All right, you better come back, man. Telling you, don't be fooling around. You haven't seen a wooden watch? Oh, they're great. I love them. I got one. If you, Tim, would you like to see one? I'll go get mine. Yeah. Just let me know if you want to see it. Hello, Michael Moore from Claude. You guys all subscribe to each other. So just let me know if you want me to go get my wooden watch. And I got a really nice one. There's some cheap ones and there's some really nice ones. And my friends got me, a really high quality, good brand, nice watch. So it's not. It won't take but a second. Why can you not have Face ID? I'm like, what? Oh, I don't know. We have Face ID. I don't know. I think our iPhones are 14s. I have a 14 Pro with the largest memory. You mean like when they look at your face and it does things? Mine does. I don't know. You're asking somebody who doesn't know much about technology. If my wife was here, maybe she could explain it to you. Maybe Claude knows. I don't know. Are the 15s the latest, or is there a 16 out now? You got a 14 too? All right. We have a 12 Pro, right. This is a 14 Pro, I think. 16 now? All right. And we're not going to buy new ones for a few years. This is silly. Always buying a new iPhone is just silly. 16 is the new one. Look, we should be able to get 2, 3 more years out of this one at least, right? So, if not longer. I don't like to change phones all the time. And my wife used to think it was really cool to get the new iPhone, but I think she's burned out on that. And she's just kind of like, it's not worth the money and the time. So, this one works really well. It has the largest memory because we use this one when we make videos at home. Like this weekend we did a video. I got to put it out. But this one has the largest memory. They last so long, Claude. Yeah, right? And they're going to be made in America soon. Back, get your biggest shirt, tailor down, and have handkerchiefs made. Oh. Have your shirt tailored down and have handkerchiefs made from the shirt. Well, Tim, now look, here's what I'll say about that. If we were in the Philippines, and Claude could probably help us with this one, if we were in the Philippines, we could probably afford to have my favorite shirts tailored down, but I don't think you could afford to do that. Well, I can't afford to do that in America. Lily, hush. You know what I mean? I think Claude, right? I mean, the Philippines, yeah, what, $10, maybe, even you got to pay $20. Here, oh my God, it'd be probably $100 to have a shirt tailored down. I mean, I had professional lab coats made 25 years ago when I was teaching, designed for my big body and heavy gauge, and I paid almost $200 back then for those. In the wet market, you can find someone, yeah, right, Claude? So, but what I'm going to try to do, though, Tim, to be fair, and you're going to think I'm crazy, and now maybe we can't do this with our conflicts going on. Michael, where are you going? Why are you leaving? Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you going fishing? You going to go eat dinner? What are you doing, Michael? You got to tell us why. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I could bring him. That's correct. You're onto something, Tim. Well, they got to go to a wedding. So I got some friends that are getting ready to go to the Philippines. I was saying maybe I could send them with them, but how would they know how to tailor what size? Yeah, so I would have to be there. Okay, never mind. I was thinking I could just send them to the Philippines and have them done. But yeah, I guess I would have to be there. All right. But you're right. I can take them with me when we go and have them altered. Imagine's in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Tim, did you want to see my watch? If you do, let me hear. I want to show you my watch now. I'm going to let you guys look at the fish tank. I'll be right back. It literally won't take but a couple seconds. So watch the fish tank for a second. All right, my friends, I'm back. All right, so Tim, I don't know how well we're going to be able to see this, but here's the watch I got for my birthday a couple years ago from some friends. So, see if you guys can see that. Because you guys know I collect watches, right? So, Claude says, I think I paid 700 pesos to have a Philippine shirt made. Oh, all right. Yeah, I know, I'll tell you, I had a couple barongs made here in America in Texas. There's a place here that makes barongs. And I think I paid about 150 bucks each for them. We had one made for my wedding, then I had a second one made that I used to wear when I went public speaking. So, Pat says, nice, Claude, very nice. Big white horse in the house, hello, say hello to everybody. So Tim, what's wood, this one isn't all wood. There are some that are all wood, but those are cheaper watches. So all of these pieces are wood, right? This is hit wood, this inlay is wood, and then they have wood inlay inside along with some metal, is what these are. This one runs about 400 bucks. So, but it was a birthday present. So I really like it. I wish I had more, to be honest. I don't, what I don't like, guys, and I'll just tell you, is these type of class, because to me they're difficult. I'd rather have a leather strap, and I probably need to take a link out of this to make it fit right, but that's it. That's my watch. I need to change the time on it. Claude's gonna go back to editing? Yeah, I need to do that too. I got a video to make of our new device we got, so I'm gonna work on that tomorrow myself. Tap on a click to paste it in the text box. Tap on, oh, okay. Hey, do you have a pocket watch? No, I do not. But I've always wanted a good one. I mean, a real pocket watch, not a cheap Walmart $10, $20 one. But no, I don't have a pocket watch. I would like to have one very much, to be honest. There's a company out of California that takes antique pocket watches, right? Real ones. And they convert them into wristwatches. I wouldn't buy one because you now have a great big pocket watch right here on your wrist. But they do a really good job. And it looks really cool, but for me it'd be a little too big. No wonder I'm not familiar with them. It's out of my price. Well, it's out of mine too, but a friend bought it for me. My dad had one long time ago, yes. So Imagine is just running amok. I don't know what he's doing, but welcome in, Imagine. I'm happy for you. Railroad watch, yes, it was. I think they're great. All right, Claude, we appreciate you, my friend. Hang in there. Be safe. Take care of the kids. So yeah, we like watches. I like watches. And this one is a heavy watch. I got to admit it, it's heavy. I like thin, I like old style watches, but this is cool. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And if you can't tell, I can't remember the exact model name of this one, but you see how it kind of has an aviation thing going on? Like that's one of those horizontal lines in a plane where you kind of, you know what I mean, the horizon or whatever. So it has something, they've kind of, James in the house. Hello, David. Hello, everyone. Did you see the news about? Yes, I did. I can't pronounce his name, but the Russian who got arrested. Yes, I did. Good for, the Philippines. I did. What all did you know? I saw it. So James, why don't you tell everybody, or drop the link to it if you want to, so everybody can go see it, James. But what did he do that was disrespectful? I was watching YouTuber, can't think of his name. Him and his wife wears breathing thing on his nose when he was in Facebook. Do you know? No. So he's wearing like an oxygen thing, an oxygen mask. Is he really old? Jim saying hello, James. Like life is good. Say hello to everybody. It helps my chat count. Do you know him, Brother David? Pat, I really don't know. Does anybody else know who Pat's thinking of? He's a YouTuber that has an oxygen tube. Is that right, Pat? So, or is he wearing a mask like this? Or is he just wearing an oxygen tube? Aviator. Thank you, Tim. You know, Tim, my squishy brain after my coma, messes with my whatever. So appreciate that. That's right. Yes, James is dropping the link there for everybody. Oh, yes, oxygen. Okay. No, not too familiar with him. I don't know if anybody else does. Are they in the Philippines, Pat? Are they living in the Philippines? Is he one of those expats married to a Filipino or living in a Filipino that's taking care of them type of thing? Okay, so they're in the Philippines. I don't know. James knows a lot of the channels. James, do you know of any of the YouTubers that are wearing oxygen? When they do YouTubing? Not familiar with the oxygen YouTuber. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. James might be. But, yeah, I'm not either. Sorry. I mean, it kind of, to be honest, Pat, it rings a bell. I can see the guy, but I don't, you know what I mean? I think I've ran across his channel, but is he a good YouTuber or a bad YouTuber, Pat? Is he worth, you okay, Lily? Is he a good channel or a bad channel? Because the one I'm thinking of is a good guy. All right, good. I guess one of the, David, no, I'm not familiar with anyone on YouTube with an oxygen. Okay. Well, James is the one that keeps me up to date on stuff. So, and a couple other people help me stay up to date. He owned a business there. All right. He's not the pig farmer, is he? A Brit in the Philippines or a Brit farming in the Philippines or something like that. But no. The sad thing is a lot of our YouTubers are getting old. I mean, look at us. We're all getting old. So, I don't see a lot of the young generation. Oh, he owned a business in the United States? Well, one thing I will say, Pat, let me figure out how to phrase this, Pat. I have talked to so many expats, because not even on YouTube, because I talk to a lot of people on Facebook, and I get a lot of messages, because we openly talk about things, right? You know me, I'm more than happy to give you advice. I'm happy to listen to issues. That's part of what I do. And so I actually talk to a lot of people that you guys never have heard of, never seen, that have nothing to do with social media. One thing I've learned in the years of doing this, all my years of doing this, and so 4.5 years of YouTubing, but since I was 18 years old being in the Filipino community, let me just say this. A lot of the men lie. A lot of the men are full of crap. Oh, I did this in America. I did that in America. I own this. I own that. I have these bank accounts everywhere. You know what I mean? So when what I will say, and anybody else can chime in about this, is you got to take what people say with a grain of salt, because some of it can be plain old bullshit. Pack, you might be getting old, but I think I'm getting younger. Jim helps getting you. Yes. Hey, there's Lawson. Lawson, hey, I made it. Everybody say hello to Lawson. Lawson, say hello to everybody, please. Most of the men, life is good, is saying. So life is good. Life is good knows what I'm saying, what I mean, right? There's a lot of expats from all over the world that are full of shit. Be right back, folks. Okay. Hey, everybody from Lawson. Everybody say hello to Lawson. Just got back from my track meet. How did you do? What happened? Tell us. Did you get a medal? Did you meet a cute girl? Come on, give us some information. What happened? Did you get a hot dog at the concession stand? That's one of my favorites. But I believe that. I've talked to a lot of expats living in Thailand, living in the Philippines, a few living in Malaysia, different places, South America. And when I listen to their story, I just go, you're full of crap. You're full of crap, you know. You got to take stuff, even what I say. Maybe I'm full of crap. Hell, I don't know. You guys think I'm full of crap? I do. Drink some of my iced tea there, friends. No, great. I got fifth in my relay and didn't get a hot dog. Damn. I have a girlfriend and I got fifth in 800 meter, which was... Okay, so what you're saying, you got fifth place, which is not bad. So you did good. You got exercise, you got sunshine, you got vitamins. And you also have a girlfriend, so that means you can't go hang out with other girls, is what you're saying. Because sometimes track girls are pretty hot, you know. Some of these girls that do running are, not bad, right? So, but you can't go hang out with them because you got a girlfriend, which is the right thing to do now. To be a good man, you got to be a good man, and that means, not hooking up with chicks, other chicks, strangers. But you should get a hot dog and a Coke when you get a chance. Because someday you're going to get old, and people are going to tell you, no more hot dogs and no more Coke. So you better eat your damn hot dogs and drink your Coke while you can. I might be retired, but I don't consider myself working career as anything to brag about. Yeah, I don't think mine's anything to brag about either, Tim, so I agree with you. And I am retired. So I agree with you. I know I talk about what I did, my teaching career, because I tell stories about it. And I am proud of a lot of things I did in my career, which I know you are too. But to brag about it on the social media like you're king of the world or you're something that you're not, I think you and I are on the same page with that. I got a hot dog, but for New Year's, okay. And I'm not drinking Coke for the whole year. Damn good. I hate to say it because I actually like Pepsi better. I love soda, okay? I hate to say it. But we don't drink soda anymore either. We've cut it out. And I'm telling you, that's what's helped me lose 60 pounds in about 9 months, 10 months. So we don't drink soda anymore either. So I think it's addictive. Soda, and the really good thing in America, if you guys don't know, a lot of states are saying you can no longer buy soda on the food stamp program. So we've given the states the power to say when you go and get food stamps in the state of Arkansas, you can buy this, and this, and soda pop is not one of them. And that includes his military experience, Tim. Yeah. See, I think your military experience, I think anybody that does military, is something to brag about. The Big White Horse says, fifth place just lets you know that your team needs to work on it. Good try. Absolutely. The other thing it tells you is maybe you need to hit the other people with a baton. You saw that 2 weeks ago, right? Where the girl bashed the girl that was leading or passed her in the head with a baton. Maybe that needs. Oh, did you guys hear about this? That poor kid in Texas who got stabbed after a track meet? I don't know the whole story, but I guess there was a fight or something, and he was stabbed and killed. A high school kid after a track meet. How freaking stupid and sad is that? Congrats on losing 60 pounds. Lawson says, well, thank you. I'm working on it. Yeah, he was stabbed, remember? I mean, it just happened last week, I think. Down in Texas somewhere. I just got highlights of it. Well, Tim, I know, I understand that military duty is just something that you do, but I still think, I know a lot of military guys that are married to Filipinas, right? There's probably, let me say this, and maybe you guys can give me your opinion. Do you think there's more ex-military guys married to Filipinas than there are non-military guys married to Filipinas? So, he died in his brother's arms, the kid in Texas, right? Tim, if you know the story, did they catch the perpetrator? Because I just caught the highlights the other day. But I still think, I talk to a lot of military guys because that's who's married to Filipinas. And some of them hate the military. One guy I know in particular hates the freaking military. But he was in for 26 years. And I told him one time at a party how bitching and complaining and all about the military. And I asked him, well, how long were you in the military? Because I'm thinking he was in for 4 years. He's like, oh, I put 26 years in. And I'm like, why? If you hated it, why in the hell did you do that? Oh, because the money was really good, and this was really good, and that was really good. I'm like, whatever. So he died in his brother's arms. That's really sad. I mean, look, now when I was younger, we had plenty of fights after football games and track meets because I was involved in track too, believe it or not. I really was. I sucked at it, so I was the manager in junior high. But we had a lot of sparring. Good. So the person was arrested and charged with murder. Excellent. That's really good. I was the track manager in junior high. In high school, I just played football. The Gabe is back. Hello, everybody say hello to the Gabe. So that's all I was. It was just something to do, something to hang out with all the other kids that played football and sports. I was the manager of the track team. Really didn't do anything, but I got to hang out with everybody, so it was good. Gage says, I apologize. I'm so sorry, Pac. It's been a long while since I've been to your live stream. That's okay, Gabe. Everybody say hello to Gabe, by the way. We appreciate you being here. In football, I was a defensive tackle. I played defensive tackle. Pat says, I'm back. I'm back. Tim is saying hello to Gabe. Really long. Hi, Tim. Yes. Yes. Sometimes I like to take what people write and exaggerate and make it much bigger than it really is. But we appreciate you being here, Gabe. I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I've been doing pretty good. There for a while, there's a couple of weeks this winter when my brain wasn't working very well, to be honest. And I didn't do any live streams for about 2 weeks because my brain just wasn't working well. But I think I'm better. I don't know. My brain may not be working well now. But, I'm a little bit better. But thank you for asking. Good going, Gabe. Yes, guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't like football. That's all right. You don't have to. Soccer is better. Ugh, I don't know about that one. That's cool. Sorry, I have to go making or attempting to make a fruit sushi. Are you going to be streaming tomorrow? Yeah, we should be streaming tomorrow. We should, yeah. But Lawson, have a good time with your slushy. Aren't they called smoothies now? Come on, get up with the times. What are you? Yeah, come on. They're called smoothies or something now. Gabe says American football. Yes, American football is the greatest football in the world. Just saying. Anybody can play soccer. All you got to do is be able to run and you can play soccer. Tim says, Pac, you have the gift of gab. You think? Is that a good thing, Tim? I don't know. Uh, oh, that's a good thing or not? Is it good, Tim? No offense, but y'all are almost as old as that. We are, man. I mean, being 21 is rough. You know, I mean, it's just pure old rough being here. I feel I get. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, smoothies. I'll hopefully be on tomorrow night. All right, buddy. We appreciate you. Once again, congratulations. I'm glad you had a good time at your track meet. And tell your team to do better. Come on, we can do better. No way! Pat Riley says, be nice, be 21 again. Yeah, to be honest, I would only want to be 21 again if I know, if I could keep my knowledge. If I was a 21-year-old and went and had the experience that I have, that would be good. But that ain't reality. You will be there in 8 years, 21. Yes, see, you're getting there. Tim says, Gabe, you will get that away if you live long enough. Yes, old as dust. We have lots of energy, folks. We do. Sometimes more than other. Now, I have a burst of energy, and then I usually have to take a day off, to be honest, if you really want to know the truth. Pat says, if 21 again, yes. Oh, yeah, we'd have a lot of energy. It sounds horrible. It is horrible, let me tell you. But, with my health conditions, if I have a really good day, I usually have a bad or 2 days afterwards. And I've learned that about myself. And so I try to be smarter about doing things. My wife is really good at wanting to be helpful around the house and doing things. And I've had to learn to just let her so that I don't overdo it. Because as healthy as I look, and I think I look really healthy. I mean, I know I'm damn handsome, and my hat's really cool. But I know I know I have problems. And so it's hard, but you have to I've had to accept the fact that I'm not the 30-year-old that I was. You know what I mean? It's like using a mobility scooter, which I got to buy another one of, for like $3,000. I need another one, but it's hard to admit that you can't do what you used to be able to do. And I'm at that point in my life. When I grow up, already want to see my grandkids. All right, nice. Grandkids are good. I don't have any. But there's a lot of people that would like to be grandkids. You know what? I mean, yes. I have to plan out my activities for the week. Yes, right? We have to kind of think about these things. Do you know what a STAAR test is? No, Gabe, tell me. I don't know. What is that? I love to know new things, so tell me. But, and here's a story I'll tell you. And I learned this lesson. See, I've learned this lesson about that I'm not the person I used to be many years ago. I learned that, firsthand. And I've had empathy for people like me who's in my situation now. And I understand people like me now. Say, huge test, I hate when I have a few days. Well, what's the test over? Why are you taking it? So when I was in my 30s, I had a boat, my first boat. My grandfather, who, I don't know how old he was, but he was retired, right? And he used to fish and boat a lot. So I was with him one time loading and unloading the boat. And I figured since he was the elder and he'd been fishing and boating all his life, that he could, be the leader, tell me what to do. But when we were doing that, I watched, and something clicked in my head. I went and said, oh my God, my grandfather's old. He's not physically able to do the things that he used to be able to do. And I was probably in my early 30s, right? And I learned that he wasn't the person that I thought he was. He wasn't the guy that built a house anymore. He was an older person with limitations. And I saw that. And ever since then, I've seen that and been able to recognize it in other people, just not myself. Gabe, is that like the TAS test in Texas? Man, yeah. Yes, it's in Texas. America, like it's over science, math, and so on. All right. So so it's a standardized test that you have to take every, like the fifth grade. Are you in the fifth grade? I can't remember. So I think it's the fifth grade that has to take that competency test. Okay, those are never fun. They are not. They are not. But remember, you can do it. Unless there's a timer on it, take your time. Always answer every question there is. Yeah, it's boring, but think of it as a game, right? So think of it as a game. Change your mindset. Instead of hating this, try to look at stuff and go, well, I'm going to treat this as a game. I'm going to look for every word that might be related to a frog. So while I'm reading and studying and doing the questions, and I'm doing that, I'm answering the questions, I might look for words associated with a frog. So if I see pond, cool, I found one, and I circle it. And I go on and I see something, a lily. Oh, that's a flower lily pad. So you do that as you work through it, and it's not as boring. You think you're going to get 100? Nice. Well, then why are you complaining? Man, if you're going to pass the thing, why are you worried about it? It's not. It's not. Tim, I'll tell you, in the world of education, we all know that these stupid standardized testing they do, one, they're racially biased. They are. They're geographically biased, and they are definitely not a measurement of somebody's true intelligence. And they need to quit doing them. Maybe they ought to do it on the teachers. So, I want to hear a fact about me. Yes, Gabe, we do want to hear a fact. Pat says, got to go to my sister's, be back in a few. All right, tell your sister I said hello. Almost got a speed cuber. I don't know what that is. A speed cuber, is that like the Rubik's Cube that you do really fast? Gabe, I don't know what that one is. What is it? I can see him typing. That's what it is? Oh, all right. Cool. Yeah, we had the Rubik's Cubes when they came out originally, man. We were the cool kids. We had Rubik's Cubes before you were even born. Right, Tim? Yeah, so it's easier to move around. Yeah. But if everybody can do that, why would you want to do it, Gabe? Right? Come on, man. Have you started wearing cool hats to school yet? Have you started to pick out your own style, your own flair, how you want the chicks to see you? Many teachers and professionals cannot correct. That's correct. That's my point, Tim. They should have to sit down and take the exact same thing. But they shouldn't do these stupid tests anyway. Dennis in the house! In Canada, we have the cow pie cube. Dennis, how are you, my friend? Everybody say hello to Dennis. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you, buddy. Are you in Mexico or are you back home in Canada? Gabe says, I'll be right back. I got to go look at a girl. I'll be right back, man. So, how are things going, Dennis? You like my shirt tonight? I got this out of, I'm down 60 pounds now. I weighed myself this morning, and I'm down 60 pounds. So I got to pull out one of my better shirts that's smaller. You got home 5 minutes ago? Woohoo! How was the senoritas? I can't even see the cube colors in 10 seconds. I know, man. The easiest thing to do is just take the stickers off and put them all together that way. I never really got into the Rubik's Cube. I liked Simple Simon. I had a Simple Simon game, and I got really good at that. So, Dennis was in Mexico, Tim, if you didn't know, hanging out with senoritas. Senoritas and margaritas. Ooh, somebody should make a song about that. I was drinking some margaritas, checking out the senoritas. You know, right? I mean, we should make a country song. Would that be a good country song? Sitting on the dock of the bay, drinking a margarita. Woohoo, looking at the senorita. That sounds like a Jimmy Buffett song. I love Jimmy Buffett. Gabe probably doesn't even know who Jimmy Buffett is. He died last year, by the way. I love Jimmy Buffett. I love Jimmy Buffett. Hey, that's cheating. Well, yeah, but you know, it's okay. I'm old. Guys, there's a kid in the chair. What do you mean? Oh, in the chat. Well, I know, you're the kid, right? You may not want to talk about beer and all of that. Why not? You know, as long as it's educational, it's kind of like some schools, I think it's California, there's some school district, there's some school states that are going to mandate that the Bible's taught in the school. Now, back when I was teaching, you could only bring the Bible in as a historical reference. So it's kind of weird now, things that are going on. I used to take the cube apart and rebuild it with the, yes. Well, okay, I can do that. It's easy. Yes. Color lineup. Yes. You wish they still had Bible class? Well, the weird thing is, and I saw this on the internet, on the news, but it's not. We'll get into a tiny bit of religion for you. But what about if you don't believe in the Bible? What if you believe in the Quran? What if you're a Mormon? What if you're Jewish? What if you're whatever? It's not right, you know. So that's where the big rub is about this state who said, oh, now you got to teach this or something. It's not going to work right. Abigail's in the house. Everybody say hello to Abigail. Hi, Abigail. How are you? I am doing good. Thank you for asking, Abigail says. Well, yeah, well, that's right. But, you know how the peer pressure is in schools, right? Well, you know, you're not my friend because you don't believe the way I believe. So what they're doing is putting targets on people. So I think we got to be really careful about the subject matter that we teach in schools. I personally believe that we got to keep everything what we call very clinical, very matter of fact, you know, unbiased opinions. When I taught, I didn't give unless I needed to, about OSHA, about the government, and about rules and regulations. I gave a lot of opinions, but they were fact-based in the government regulations. You know, like, if you don't follow this, this, and this, my opinion is OSHA can come in and do it, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, if they choose to, you know, stuff like that. When I went to my university, I was required to take 2 semesters of religion. Wow. I took religious courses too. World religion, I don't think I only took one, world religion. So I think at the college level, depending on, state schools don't do that. That's kind of the rub, you know, because there's supposed to be, and that's part of what people are saying online, there's supposed to be a division between church and state. So, right, but if you make the state and you put the Bible in the state, then there's no longer a separation of church and state. You know, at my school, my teachers gave me a paper wanting to ask if they can teach about sex and gay sex and all of that. It's weird. My mom had to choose. She said double hockeys. No, I agree. One, I'll tell you guys that. I don't think schools ought to be teaching anything that's not educational based. I don't think they should be manipulating trans kids. They shouldn't be doing any of that. It should just be academics. And they should have a sex ed class. But it should be done from the perspective of a health class, like we had. Tim and I had growing up. We had health and sex ed inside of that. So that you could learn about diseases and health and all of that, right? That's what they need to be doing. not talking about, hey, you know, people can be gay and it's okay. And look, here, go read this book about gay love. You know, I agree with you. None of that should be involved. They shouldn't even have a book talking about non gay love. Gay love has nothing to do with academics. Love has nothing to do with academics. H10 is in the house. H10, how are you? I went to Wayland Baptist University in San Antonio. Nice. Now that makes sense. Yeah, a private school can do whatever they want, but a state-funded school is a different story. The Gabe says, hello, HDN. Henry, how are you, buddy? What have you been up to? Hey, from Tim, HDN. I'm doing good, just trying to stay dry. Is it raining down there? We got 6 inches of rain in 48 hours here, Henry. So up here, we didn't get any of the tornadoes that Jonesboro had and all of that. You know, there's a lot of damage and a lot of storms. We didn't get any of that. We truly just got 6 inches of rain in 2 days. How come they have a little, oh, because that's called a wrench. And they have a YouTube channel, or Gabe, they're people that I personally know that are what we call moderators. And what they will do is, like, if we get somebody on here who's being really bad, Gabe, then if I don't get to it, my moderators, like if somebody comes up and started talking bad about race, you know what I mean, calling us names, they can delete that person out of the chat. So Tim I've known for a long time, Henry I've known for a long time. So those are people, that's what that is. The blue and the wrench means they're a moderator on this live stream. And they can help out with things. Tim says, yep, it's a wrench. Oh, I forgot what it was called. It's all right. That's what we do here. We learn and grow. Henry, down there, what's going on, man, besides the rain? You working on the truck? You getting anything done? How's the girlfriend? Lorelei, my wife, wanted to know if you're still doing the girlfriend thing. There's Sanders. Hello, Father. Sanders is in the house. How are you, buddy? Man, I was telling Claude, who was on earlier, that one of these days we're going to get down to Texas and we're going to hook up. So we're going to meet all of you guys down in Texas. Yes, Dennis says, see, I miss the old days when Jack would block me. Yes. Well, Jack, you know, Dennis, the good thing is Jack blocking you and others got him permanently banned. So, so y'all can kick me out? Yes. The blue people can kick you out. Hi, Sanders. Yes, yes. But they're not going to. They know that you're a good guy, Gabe. So don't stress. But yes. Tim says, the first year I was in the Philippines, I got 38 inches of rain in 8 days. Holy crap. Pat says, I'm back. We're doing good. Yeah, I'm still working on the car. Hey, there's Flamingo. I got to put my drink down. I'm not keeping up with the chat very well, guys. Let me see if I can keep up. Flamingo's business. Sorry, I've been gone a long time. I'm extremely busy. How's your business doing? Are you growing your business? How's Florida? You know, it's good to see you back. Appreciate you coming back. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel and subscribe to each other. Hey, there's Ian living in the Philippines. Good morning, everybody. How are you, man? I've seen some of your videos about whatever her name is, KK, or, you know, I've seen some of your videos on that, buddy. Gabe says, Pat, saying hello to Pat. Not missing any money. Doing good, Sanders says. Out here trying to make that money. I know, buddy. I wish you all the best with making money, buddy. I do. Pat saying hello, good morning. Flamingo business. Gabe says, hey, hey, hey. Well, I have to go by. Y'all have a great day. Gabe, we will. Thank you. Enjoy school. Learn all you can. So do good, Gabe. We're proud of you, buddy. You just keep it up, all right? We're proud of you. Time for me to go to the gym, Tim says. Sanders, Henry's dating. Yes. Henry's got a woman folk out in the Philippines. Dennis, did you know that? Dennis is in the chat. Dennis, Henry has a new arm candy. All right, Tim, we will. Thank you. Hello from Henry to you. Pat says hello to you, Henry. So, yeah. Well, we're only about 3 weeks away or less from our trip to Alabama, Henry. So we're getting excited about that. We decided we're going to spend one day in we're not going to spend the night in Pensacola. We're going to drive over and go to Pensacola for the day while we're there one day. So we're going to run over to Pensacola, Florida, check out some of the Asian stores. We're going to check out the housing market there, to be honest. I'm going to look, Lorelei wants us to look about moving at Pensacola. So we're going to look at it while we're there because we'll have time. So, Flamingo, I have been extremely busy with the business as it just took off. Just today I had 200 sales and we got about 1,300 today. So I've been working 12 hours a day producing products. So, Flamingo, if I remember right, you do woodworking, right? A word product. Do you have a website you would like to share? Because I would like to see your products. I really would. If you have a website you want to drop or something, or how we can go see what you do, it'd be really cool. Be happy to do it. Going to Otter Creek? Yeah, Henry. Hey, I ain't going to damn Otter Creek. That's, man, you got to put, that Otter, I don't keep up with it anymore, to be honest, because that Jeremy guy and all the lawsuits, I don't know, does Jeremy even live there anymore? I thought I saw that they were putting what the hells is putting their farm up for sale or their ranch or their property up for sale. And everybody's in a lawsuit, but it's just like so much drama in a town this big, right? I've hired my son to help me as I just too much for one. Good. You can't beat that. Are you doing Amazon? What are you doing? How are you selling your product? Because I think you were telling me about it one year, and it sounded like something I would be interested in buying. So, yeah, Henry, you don't have any idea either? I don't either, man. I quit. It just got to the point where, I don't know. It got for me, I believe he's a bully. He's a bully. He has problems everywhere he goes. If you I looked at his history, that was public. And everywhere he goes, he has lawsuits and is in trouble with people. Everywhere he goes. So sometimes you got to look at, if there's trouble all around you, maybe you're the trouble. So, you know what I mean? Yep, I asked my son to give the link to the website because all this new technology nonsense today. I'm clueless. I'm proud of myself for figuring out how to watch your YouTube. Well, good for you, my friend. I really would. And I'd be happy to help you market your stuff on my live streams. I don't mind. I try to help everybody out I can. So, Filipina Bai in the province is in the house. How are you? Good morning to you. How are things in the Philippines for you? What's going on in your world and how are you doing? Anything exciting coming up? But yeah, we need to help each other grow and do our side hustles. Well, yeah, absolutely, man. To be honest, I'll tell you guys, and some of you may or may not agree with me, and thank you all for the thumbs ups, by the way. But it's a great time in America. I mean it. I know there's people out there freaking out and crying about the stock market. You know what I did today? I took some extra money I had and went and bought stock. I bought stock that tanked. I bought it. It's going to go back up in a few weeks. So it's a great time to be in America. It's a great time to start a business. It's a great time to just keep going and doing. Dennis in the house. Wow. HX in the chat. Yes. Young Miss Bai in the chat. Dennis, you are right. I never said X. Dennis, X arm candy, Hey, Dennis from Pat. Hi, Papa Dennis. See, there's the Miss Bai getting you, Dennis. HDN has so many, has a few. He's your role model. That's right. Henry is the, Daisy, you okay? Henry's a chick magnet, He's got arm candy on the left. He's got arm candy on the right. He got arm candy extra. Nope, not an X. I know. We know Henry. He's just busting your testicles. Hi, Pat and Bye. with the 5 kids. That's it. That's it. So we're doing good. Oh, by the way, Dennis, we've decided we've collected enough school supplies money. Lorelai and her friends are getting that worked out, so we are good there. So we thank everybody whoever donated to the school supply stuff. We are good there. Kids, you kidding me? 5 kids, you kidding me? I know. Exactly. People are complaining about the stock going down, but if you didn't go down, how would you expect to buy low, sell high? That's it. I've absolutely bought stocks. Yes. I'm not going to. I don't disclose the stocks that I buy. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I really don't want people to know what stocks we own. So, but I bought a bunch more technology AI stocks. So today I bought a whole bunch of AI stocks, and I'm looking and I'm waiting for a couple of other my favorites to get below. I've set alerts. If they go below, I'm going to buy. Anyfin's in the house. Anyfin, man, I am so sorry that I haven't been getting to your live streams in the morning. I miss those. So you guys say hello to Anyfin. I appreciate that. But my wife gets off at midnight. She keeps me up until 3 a.m. And so I'm missing your live streams in the morning, buddy. So everybody say hello to my good friend Anyfin. We appreciate him. He has a great YouTube channel, by the way. Miss Bai says, I miss the money. HEN, soon 125 kids. That's right. Oh my God. 5 kids turns to be 125. Yeah. Well, in the Philippines, you can have all the kids you want. 8% of the U.S. population owns 90% of the stock market. Yes. I guess I'm one of those because we have stock. I buy it for the future of my wife. I buy stocks not to sell tomorrow or anything. My job is to buy stocks low, that's good and stable with good growth rates that pay dividends, so that in 20 years, my wife has a huge nest egg. That's my only goal. Financially for my life is nothing to make sure. My only goal financially, because that's what the $5 million beach house is for. It's for my wife, not for me, right? So my goal is to have a beautiful home paid off so that when I pass away, there's no issues for my wife, that she's financially set. AI is 100% the way to go. Yes, Flamingo, see? It's the future. Well, there it is. It's the future of the industry that's coming here. Anything's no worry, bud. We're going to start some later live soon. Yes. And I don't know. Let me do this. Hello. Anything? If you haven't done it and I don't remember, that Fishing with Pack is my little fishing YouTube channel. So it's a new one that I started. I haven't really done anything with it. But if you'll subscribe to it, because I need 50 people to go live, and I only got like 12 or 13, because I want to do some live streams on my new fishing channel this year, but you got to have 50 subs. So anybody out there, if you go please sub to Fishing with Pack, just so I can get to 50, so I can do live streams, I would appreciate it tremendously. So, because I'm not worried about making it monetized. I just want to go do live streams. Because I want to do 2 live streams. I'm going to do a live stream on Adventures of American Couple while I'm doing a live stream on Fishing with Pack. So I got a plan. I just need 50 subs. Let's see here. HD and send hello to you. Anyfin says hi. Fishing with Pack. That's me. You have $5 million beach house. No. I want a $5 million. I'll tell you. All right, here's my thing. I got a PayPal account, and I'm asking people to put money in my PayPal account so I can raise $5 million. Nobody's doing it, but I need $5 million. And here's what I need. $5 million bucks. I'm going to take half of it, $2.5 million. I'm going to buy a house. The other $2.5 million, I'm going to put in investments, and I'm going to use the income off of the investments to pay the taxes and the insurance on the house, the carrying costs. That's why I need $5 million. The house is really only $2.5 million. And of course, I need a boat, to go with the boat dock. So, that's what we're doing, Flamingo. Anything says, I got it. A British expat in the Philippines. Another viewer today. Well, thank you for coming in, a British expat in the Philippines. Love having you. Thank you, everybody. Say hello to a British expat in the Philippines. I'm assuming by your title, you have a YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check them out, I'm sure they would appreciate that. So we appreciate the thumbs up and the views and subscribing to our channel. We try really hard on this channel, British, to help everybody grow. Now, we're not a grow channel. That's not our focus. We are just my wife and I, and it's our adventures. And we have a lot of them, and we lived in the Philippines. We live here. We've immigration. We've done everything. But as getting to know everybody who's, in the fishing community, the cruising community, the Filipino community, we've gotten to know a lot of wonderful people, and we want to help all of them grow. So I encourage you all to subscribe to each other, but do it the correct way. Make sure you go to their channel, watch a video, leave a comment, give a thumbs up, hit the alert bell, and subscribe. So, British, appreciate you being here. So, Flamingo, that's the deal with the $5 million beach house. I don't know if you got an extra $5 million laying around that you don't mind sharing. My hope is maybe somebody like Mr. Beast would watch my live stream one day and go, oh, that poor fat guy needs $5 million. All right, I'll just send him $5 million. Right? That's what my hope is. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I'm trying. Great support to all of us. Yes, it is. And we talk a lot about expats here too. Expat experiences, good and bad. We try to be very truthful, but we don't do any hating on this channel. You can express your own opinion, have your own thoughts. We're not going to, we don't care what you are, who you are. We like having really good conversations with people on this channel. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, I've been trying to save for my children when I pass. I only have about 400K saves of, because my business is doing so well. I hope I can raise it up to a few million. Hell yeah, buddy. Keep at it. Now, I'm happy for just 10% to give you advice. Pat says, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, and that's what we have to do. We have to have a financial goal, guys and girls. I think it's important to have a financial goal, a financial plan. And once you achieve things, you keep moving. You keep moving the line. So that's what you got to do. Anything says my kids will inherit nothing but some really weird assets. Well, they're going to get all your fishing equipment, right? That's all that matters is fishing equipment. You and I know this. What's the most important thing in our house? All the fishing tackle that's out in the garage. Not my wife's purses or all of her shoes and boots, but the fishing gear that's outside. But anything, we're excited. We're getting ready to go to Alabama in a couple weeks. We're thinking about moving there, so we're doing a lot of neighborhood hunting, doing a bunch of research while we're there. We've been there a whole bunch, but now we're going down with the mindset that we may buy a place there. So while we're there, we're going to go fishing. Alabama, that's it. So we're going to go fishing like at Fairhope Pier. We're going to find some local places to fish because my goal is this. When we live there, I want to be able to get to my fishing spot in 30 minutes or less. Oh, here you go. Yes. I did have about 1.1 million in 2019, but Biden took over and all went to hell. Yes, I know. That's why I bought stock today. Look, I'm very excited about the economy over the next few years. I just am. I'm very excited. I know egg prices have dropped, gas is not, but look, it's going to get good, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. Manufacturing's coming back to America. You got all these countries now, after the tariff war, giving up, saying, okay, we surrender. Today, they're lining up to surrender. Even the EU has surrendered. I bought heavy as well. See? Look, the stock market, I believe, how I use the stock market, and it's not like I'm an expert. I buy low on good, solid stocks that pay dividends because in 20 years, I want my wife to be able to cash them out and have money. That's what I care about. You got the 51st state. Did Canada give up today? Did they give up the tariffs today, Dennis? We don't want you guys now. We don't want Canada now. You guys are talking bad about us. So we don't want you guys to be part of our clique anymore, man. Canada is no longer part of the group. Glad Trump got into power again. Yes, it needs a strong leader that is not scared of China. I agree. And what he said today, because I watched it, and I like this because it's more my personality. He said, if you don't want to come to terms, if a country can't come to terms with us on how we do business together, then we're not going to have any, and he emphasized, we won't have anything to do with you, meaning we're not going to come and aid you. We're not going to come and help you if you get attacked. So you either do business and you do business fairly, or you can kiss your butt goodbye. Yep. Just buy clearly undervalued assets that are safe bets. That's it. I call it low and slow. And we've done very well. I mean, I'll tell you one stock that I bought, and I'm waiting for it to drop. It's dropped $10 in the last couple of days, but it's still way more than I paid originally. I don't know. I bought, one of the stocks I own is Carnival Cruise Line. I bought it when it was $6 a share during the pandemic. Bought a whole shitload of it. $6 a share. And the other day it was $25 a share. Now it's back down about $17 a share. But it's going to go right back up. So, not worried about it. But I got an alert set that if it drops below $10, my brokerage thing is supposed to alert me and let me know that that's what it's done. Because under $10, I might wind up buying a bunch more. But it doesn't really matter because it's going to sit there for years. And when I die, if Lorelei needs the money, she can cash out this stock. I have no intentions of taking any of it. I just don't. Same thing with our Vanguard account. That's it. I just put money in it and leave it for Lorelei. That's it. That's the whole plan. You know, all of our money, our assets are hers. That's why we need the $5 million to get the beach house, so that she can have a really nice place to live when I die. I don't want the beach house isn't for me. It's for my wife and my dogs. You know, I'm happy, with whatever. So anything, you're right, buddy. The only thing I don't like about Trump is threatening not to help NATO countries if they get invaded, as I have. Well, what I'm going to say something, Flamingo. As I have family living in the UK and my sister lives in Germany, I'm scared for them. Okay, I'm going to say two things about that. I actually don't mind him doing that because those countries have said they wouldn't come to our defense. Australia is talking crap, saying, hey, we're no longer going to be friends with America because of the tariff things. So we wouldn't come and help them and aid them. All right, well then why would you expect us to do it? So that's where I'm at on that. And what I know what Trump is doing, Trump is saying, look, one, if you're going to have NATO, everybody needs to pay their fair share. And they're not. That's one part of it. They're not paying their fair share of the cost of this. The other thing he's really mad about is the fact that they've been giving Russia so much money for oil, the energy coming out of Russia. So that's why he's really pissed off at some of those countries, because they're over here saying, hey, we can't pay our own way. Please, America, give us money. And they're giving all this money to Russia, which is strengthening Russia. That's it. We don't need to do that. To be honest, I'll tell you, I'm perfectly happy if we pull out of NATO. If we pull out, it collapses. I actually don't think NATO needs to be. I'm not an expert in it. Maybe I'm wrong. But and I told somebody this the other day, and this is how I really feel. We're going to have a lot of countries talking shit about America, right? We're not going to defend them. We wouldn't help them. They're no longer our friends. Our relationship has changed dramatically. Well, that's fine. But what I will say is, if Canada got invaded, you know who the first country they would call? Would be America. And what would happen? America would turn around and defend Canada. If Germany was invaded by Russia, first people they would call is America, and America would do what they could to defend Germany, no matter how much shit they talk about us. I wish we had a Trump in Canada. I know you guys need one, right? But did you see over in the UK, they're now talking like Trump. Have you heard this? Their politicians are going around now and saying, well, it's time that we start taking care of England. We got to start putting England first. So they got politicians mimicking Trump. So I think that's kind of funny. Have you heard of the new... No, I haven't heard of Kanzuk. It's official, but most likely going to happen soon. It would be Canada and the UK, Australia, New Zealand merging into one. I don't think that could ever happen. I mean, why would they do it? What you have to realize about countries and merging together, there's too many egos involved. Who's going to be the supreme leader of all the countries? It's not going to work. It just doesn't work unless you take them by violence like Russia. If you take a country by violence, then it works because you control it and dominate it. But putting a group of countries together and say, now we're going to be, even America and Canada, I don't think it would work, But you could do some different things to make a group of alliance, but I don't think you can do that because New Zealand's not going to bow down to, the UK. They're going to tell the UK to go shove it up their ass about this or that. Australia's going to do the same thing. So there's too many differing opinions and concepts in these countries to blend as one country and be harmonious. We need to stop being big brother to the world. I agree with you, Henry. We need to take care of ourselves, my opinion. I agree. Woodrow Wilson, in the early 1900s, he was an isolationist president. Trump's not that, but he does believe in taking care of the United States first. Wilson didn't want anything to do with anybody. He wanted to avoid all the drama with all these countries. He wasn't worried about it. He thought America could take care of America until the World War I broke out. I mean, it worked in the 1900s. Well, did it? Did it work? It worked for the British, but it sure the hell didn't work for the other countries. If it did, they wouldn't have broke off. They wouldn't have wanted independence, right? So they're not going to be able to unite again. I'm just telling you, there's too many egos involved. Do you guys have a prime minister? Is there a prime minister in Australia or a president? Well, the Canadian prime minister, he's not going to bow down to Australia. He's not going to say, okay, they're just not going to do it. Their egos are too damn big. It's like America. We're not going to do that either. British isn't going to do it. Nobody wants to do that. But I do think there's the guy on Shark Tank, the bald-headed guy, I can't remember his name, Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful, I think is his name. He's on Shark Tank. If you ever watch what he says about America and Canada, that guy who is a Canadian citizen and a U.S. citizen knows exactly what needs to happen between Canada and the United States to make great revenue for both countries. Very smart. And he lays out a plan between the two countries how we can kind of blend together while still being independent countries. What do you think is going to happen in the next couple of years in the world and a new alliances or what wars? I actually think there is going to be a new alliance, but I think it's going to be some countries, and maybe Dennis can help with this. Some countries like Brazil, I can't remember, there's another group of countries. Brazil's part of it, some African countries, maybe Chile, Buenos Aires, I can't remember. There's a group of countries that have banded together, and I can't remember what they're called, but it's out there. And Canada's not invited, we're not invited, British isn't invited. It's a bunch of South American countries, I think, and some African countries are working together on things. Is China part of that? So I can't remember what that's called. Maybe somebody can Google it. I don't know. But there's a group. Yeah, right. that group, right? So they're trying to form a group kind of like NATO in a sense. But that's what you got to worry about. You got to worry about that group of people. BRICS, yes, that's it. Exactly what I was thinking of, Flamingo. So that group, I think, could be a problem. That's what it is. So I think that group could be a problem. I really do. I know what they want to do. They kind of want to get together and become a superpower and get rid of the UK and America as superpowers. They want to try to control the oil and gas industry and the trade industry and things like that. And maybe they will. I don't know, but I think that's part of it. I I think China's a big problem, and China's going to need to get slapped. I think China is pushing their boundaries in the Philippine Sea. They're still after Taiwan. I think there's going to be a lot of continuous drama there until somebody says, enough is enough, and we challenge you. If you come here again, we're going to blow your ship out of the freaking water. Even Australia, they had Chinese ships circling their country a couple of weeks ago. Just kept circling their country out in international waters. China did. They even did some war games out in the ocean past or in international waters around Australia. Australia, they may have a problem with China. So this is not a time for Australia to start saying, well, we don't like the Americans anymore. They're going to make us pay more money for their shit. The tariff thing. We don't like America anymore. Well, they better think twice about that because they might wind up in a war with China because China is pushing their boundaries. So I think that's some of the biggest worries in the world. I don't know. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not so worried about like the Middle East crap. I'm really not. I'm not worried about Iran. I'm not worried about the Hutus. I think that's small potatoes. Aussie going woke and broke. Yeah. Right? Nuclear war will never happen, as everybody knows. I agree. I don't think nuclear war would ever happen either. Because have you ever seen the movie The War Games from the 80s? It's exactly what would happen. If somebody nuked a country, the responses would just go boom, boom, boom. It would just, and then the after effect, the war game, the movie called War Games is really, really good. Really good. It has that famous, good-looking star from the 80s, but she's old now like us, in it. I can't remember her name. And Matthew Broderick was in it. Really good movie if you haven't seen War Games. But I agree with you. I don't think we'll have nuclear war either. But I do think China is going to, I think Australia screwed up. I don't know everything about their situation. But I have no clue why Australia didn't send Australian ships out to where the freaking Chinese were. We would have. If the Chinese started to come into close proximity to America, if they came close to our international waters, we would have ships right there by them where we could see them, because we won't be bullied. America won't be bullied at all, period. And that's one thing people got to understand. Even though we want peace in the world and we want everybody to be happy, Americans are not going to be bullied. We're not. Period. If you try it, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And I think the UK is kind of figuring that out. Oh, they were going to hate us about the tariff. They told everybody don't invest in America anymore. Bad, bad, bad. Now they're starting to go, well, wait a minute. We can do 0 tariffs after all, because America went, okay, fine. And that's where you were talking about earlier, Flamingo, where it comes from us saying, all right, we won't defend you anymore. If we can't do business with you, we're not going to defend you. Germany. Just the way it is. Let's see. Soul Linder says, I'm back. I'm back in the house. Where you been? Did you get something to eat? What's your temperature in North Dakota, by the way? What's your opinion on the United States of Europe, which has been discussed recently? I still don't think it will. I thought, it's kind of like the EU, right? Let me ask you this, Flamingo. What's the difference? What would be the difference between the EU and the United States of Europe? What would be the difference? Because isn't that kind of what it is? Yes, you got food. What kind of food did you get? So this, why would they do that? I don't know. Is the EU not working very well? I don't live over there. 30 degrees where you're at, nice. Dennis, hey, if they don't kill Trump, income tax will go away. Yes, if they don't kill him. We're waiting for, they've already, I don't know when, and this is what I don't know. I don't know when all of this is going to happen. They're supposedly passed where you don't got to pay taxes on overtime, Social Security, and tips. If Trump has it his way, he would like to get rid of the federal income tax. And you got to realize, and a lot of people don't realize, our generations, I didn't know this. But there was a point in time where we didn't pay federal income tax. Americans did not pay. I didn't realize that. It was because of one of the wars that America started taxing Americans. That's where that came from. I didn't know that. I'm having mini stew. I don't know what mini stew is. And 2 Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets? Come on, man. You're not a 12-year-old anymore, Soul Linder. When you get older, you got to start eating real food, buddy. Come on, Hot Pockets are for kids, and they're bad for you. Look at all the ingredients list. They're very bad for you. Basically, it's all of Europe uniting into one country, all like the States, right? And separate countries united into one superpower. The EU is a trade. Well, right. So, I don't know. If they want to do it, what, do you know which countries it would be? Which countries are going to unite? Do you know that? Which ones? Sweden is allowing yes, I saw that, which is sad and strange for Sweden, right? It's, I hate to be kind of weird, but and this is racist, I guess, I don't know. But I don't know why they're doing it. Are they thinking the Somalians going to be cheap labor force? Because I just don't see, and maybe, I just don't see a Norwegian type country taking in millions upon millions of Somalians. So you got a bunch of white people taking in a bunch of colored people. I don't get it. I don't know what they're thinking. Are they thinking it's going to be a second-class population? I don't know. I don't get it. All of Europe except for Belarus, which is ally of Russia. Okay. I don't think it ever happened, to be honest. You know that Ireland's not going to join Britain in the United States, right? They're not. Why would Ireland do that? Ireland hates everybody. You had a peanut. Now that's a good thing. I like peanut butter, as long as it's the good peanut butter. Make sure you only few ingredients. Watch your bread intake. Well, yeah, I think it would be good for Sweden as ever. But I think, okay, here's one thing I know, because I read the studies. People were taking Sweden as an example about how you could have a country that has good medical, vacation time for everybody, all these really nice things. And what the experts realize is you can't, let me find the word, you couldn't, what's that word? Somebody help me, my brain's not working. It's kind of like expand, but when you can't populate, what Sweden does. You can't take what Sweden does in a small environment, which is kind of like a test tube, and you can't dump it into a big beaker and think it's going to work. And the experts are saying there's no way that you could drop what Sweden does into a swimming pool and have it work. Yeah, they need workers. Yeah, I would agree with that. Man, I can't think of that word. I just can't think of it. Integrate? I don't know. I can't think of it. I'll think of it later. Yeah, Sweden's stupid. You know, and I would have never thought Sweden would have done this, right? I don't. You know, Sweden has always said, "Hey, we're neutral. We're not getting involved." I've always seen them as a country that doesn't get messy, but they're getting messy now. Expand it, yeah. Yeah, the word's kind of like expand. It's a bigger word than that. I don't know. But you know what I mean, right? Yes, they will expand with all the rapes. Yes. Well, now they're going to have, right? So do they not like being white anymore? Maybe they want to mix their skin color. I don't know, Dennis, what Sweden's doing. And I don't know, you know. Only thing I can think of is, like we've said, is they need the labor force. And so they're going to bring in, like America bringing in Mexicans. You know, hey, cheap labor, get the Mexicans to do it. So cheap labor, get the Somalians to do it, right? But what countries need to do, like Sweden should look at us as America as an example of what they're doing and realize how bad it's going to end. Because we can't even handle it, right? So Sweden needs to look at America and go, oh yeah, well, that didn't really work out too well, did it? Just went so woke. Well, I know. The really good thing is I think America is sick and tired of the wokeness. I know I am. And, you know, Maine is in big trouble. Maine, I guess, is it Maine or Maryland? One of the two states has decided they're not going to comply with federal law. So Trump has taken away all of the government, because they're not compliant, it's not Trump, it's the government, is going to be taking away their federal funding. So, because they want to do the whole boys can play girl sports thing. The glass of apple juice is so refreshing, especially having a long day of work early this morning, having doctor's appointments today. Oh yeah, you had like an injury to your foot or leg, didn't you, my friend? And then this evening having track practice, yes. No, not all Somalians are bad. They just need to do background checks before letting them. But here's the problem with that. It's like not all, Americans are bad, just most of us. But what I'll say, Flamingo, about that is you cannot verify backgrounds from a third world country. And what I mean is it can be forged, it can be faked easily, because they're not a first world country, they're third world countries. And their documentation in their own country is a mess. And just like in the Philippines, if you want to get to the head of the line to get a driver's license, you just whip out some money, right? Same problem. So you can't trust the validation that you've done on the immigrants coming in. That's part of the problem. So, Leonard, I'm still having my leg pains. Yes, all right. I knew you were having something with that. I like apple juice once in a while. Hi, Dennis from Life is Good. Thankfully, it's healing, so Linda says, nice. Well, the crime rate has gone wild since they have let them in. I agree. And I feel bad for them. So what are they going to do? Dennis, do they got a plan? Or are they just going to go, well, we're going to do nothing and see what happens? Because I don't think the Swedish people I don't know. Are they gun people? Do they like guns? In America, we like guns. Lawson's back. Hey, I'm back. Sorry, my smoothie failed. Oh, I feel sorry for you. Hey, there's Crystal Lynn. You guys all say hello to each other. Say hello to everybody. So thank you for coming back. Crystal, thank you for coming in. How are you doing in your part of the world? Pull a Trump, send them back. Well, they're going to have to, but do you think they will? Do they have the balls to do that is what I wonder. I'm hoping I'll be held in good time for my vacation in June. Now, where are you going on your vacation, Solinder? Everybody say hello to Crystal and Lawson, please. Chief Lawson's in the house. Say hello to everybody, or you guys. Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. I'm doing good tonight. Yeah, they have to, right? I mean, but what I mean is you can't trust what a third world government says is, you just can't. I don't know if you can trust our country to be accurate. You know what I think we need? We need the U.S. to annex the third world countries, rebuild and become rich from their natural resources, but it would help the economy of poor people, the American empire. Yeah, I get what you mean about expansion, taking over third world countries, but I don't know. Crystal says, well, I'm learning about childhood experiences can have an impact on your presence. Absolutely. Absolutely, Crystal. You know that experiences as a kid. I was told about one earlier. One I had earlier. Maybe two I had earlier. Lawson, did y'all get the damage? No, we didn't get any. We got like 6 inches of rain. I know you guys were more in the pathway of the storms. Hey everyone, I got glad to see y'all. 9 of you stream, 10 including me. Yes. So Linder, when you're here, everybody shows up. They just love you, buddy. Life is good. China tariff on Canada is 100%. I've heard. I wonder if it's true. Dennis might know that. I don't know. But when it comes to the tariff stuff, I'll say, if you could have one on us, why can't we have one on you, right? Is it because we have more money than you that you think you should take it? It's kind of like the thing in the Philippines. Lawson's, yeah, we had a ton of rain, just some damage, mainly just trees that fell over. Okay. Yeah, we had about 6 inches of rain in 48 hours. A lot of rain. Kids, new kids on the block, learn how to fight. Yes. Yep. You got to learn how to stand up for yourself. I just had an experience with a whole support in the Beaver campaign. Whole support the Beaver campaign because I was flipping child that gave people permission to do things. Let me reread that so I make sure I understand. Well, Crystal, well, I don't know what the Beaver campaign is, but I was a flipping child and that gave people permission to do things. Okay. Well, I don't know, to be honest, if children can give anybody permissions. I don't think they can do that. So I don't think the children don't have the cognitive ability to give people permission to do good or bad things to them. I'm going to Minneapolis June the 6th for a baseball game. June the 8th, I'll be heading to Indiana. Nice. Well, good for you. Well, Crystal, are you getting anything out of that? Is it helping you? But I'm one of these people that I totally believe that children don't get to make decisions. Chris, okay, I got you. So Support the Beaver campaign was all about getting Canada to buy local products. That's great. I'm a big fan of that. I think every country ought to do that. They ought to try to encourage people to buy local products. Yep, Life is Good says the Mall America's in Minneapolis, also in June, probably going to heading to Pennsylvania, heading to Gettysburg. Nice, I like to go there. I want to have a local arm candy. Yes. What do you think the U.S. should do then? Just watch the world collapse around as we do nothing? Well, one, I don't think that would ever happen. I really don't. The world's not going to crash. It's just not. We adapt. Countries adapt. I really believe this. The world's not going to collapse. It's going to readjust. We're having a paradigm shift, and things are going to readjust. And I will say this. Sometimes you need to let people fight it out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't make broker peace between two people. So sometimes they need to smack the crap out of each other to get it out of their system so they can move on. But I don't think the world's going to collapse. But yes, I kind of think we should sit back and watch. We should. I still think we should defend other countries. I really do. I mean, if the Philippines or Thailand or Canada or whoever was attacked, we should defend them. Absolutely. But we should stay out of their business. Let me get caught up here. Eager beavers. As a child, it became more of a sexual experience. As a beaver meant something different, the way I had explained it as a child. Yeah. Well, in my world, a beaver means, how to say, we all know what the body part, when you say the girl's beaver, we all know what that is, right? So I understand what you mean, Crystal, I do, about that. I've never been to Minneapolis, so it's a new experience for me, even though Minnesota, my home state where I was born. Woohoo! Ha ha from Dennis. I agree completely with that, Lawson says, thank you. The guys used to call me Beaver Tooth. Oh my God. When I was cutting trees in Montana's timber, beaver, oh, come on now. But there's two things I'll say. I wish they would you need to just leave children alone. And any adult that preys on a child should be actually put in prison for life. If we would castrate them, which I know doesn't really solve the problem because a lot of it's psychological, not physiological. When adults do bad things, it's not this, it's this. So cutting the testicles off really doesn't do any good, but it makes us feel better. So we should do that. They should be in prison for life and shouldn't have a chance to come out. That's my opinion, Life is good. Let's see, Dennis. My nickname was Lukewarm Water. That's funny. You want to know what? I had a nickname all through school, believe it or not. Can anybody guess what my nickname was through school? I had two, but one went away pretty quickly. And, actually I had three. But the main one, can anybody guess what that was? You're not joking, Dennis. I think it looks pretty good for you. Especially knowing that your swimming background, it kind of fits, right? But I do, and the other thing I'll say about your beaver thing, the real one that comes to kind of like food and buy local, I think every store, if they would smart, they would have a section like here, like they should have things made in Arkansas, things made in Oklahoma, things made in Indiana. They should push out very local products. Crystal says my nickname was Mickey Mouse. Nice, that's a good name. Life is good. There's a Philippine pastor in the news that texts me up with you young kid. There's a Philippine pastor in the news that texted me. Yeah, I believe it. Well, that's why look, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. And it's not, maybe it's too big of a blanket statement. But I'm just going to tell you, there's a lot of expats from around the world that goes to Thailand and the Philippines to see little girls. That's their main motive, is to go hang out with little girls. Now, they're going to say, they're going to be of age. But if they're 16, 14, 13, 12, we know they do it, guys. Oh, in the U.S. Okay. I believe it. I saw one the other day where a police officer got busted for doing the same thing. Why you Minnie? Yeah, Dennis want to know why you would be called Minnie Mouse. Did you say Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse? Mickey Mouse. Yeah, why not Minnie? I agree. You have a great opinion on everything. Well, thank you, Lawson. I appreciate it. I don't know about that. But I do have an opinion. And I like your opinions too. Don't get me wrong. this, I'm not all about it's my way or the highway. I think it's really good to know what other people think because that's how we learn and we grow. But yeah, I have a lot of opinions. Just ask my wife. So Crystal says, then my cousin Marcia got given that over time because it matched. Oh yeah, Marcia. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. See, we would have called her Eminem. Oh, that's pretty cool, Crystal. That's all right. Soul Linder has some good news. What's your good news, my friend? My nickname growing up through school was the H Man. That was it. Pretty simple. Sometimes people, when I had really long hair, I got called the Viking a lot, but mainly it was the H Man all through school. And now it's Pack and Pack Leader, I guess. You made it to your 550 goal. Nice. Congratulations. Everybody give Soul Linder some congratulations. Soul Linder, I hope that this channel, was part of helping you get to that point. So, Lawson says, I only have 16 subs. But Lawson, you're not trying to grow a channel, are you? Are you doing a YouTube channel? So, if you're not doing, then 16's good. Cool, Soul Linder, life is good says. I also had the nickname Small Fry at one point. Was that because you were small? I'm assuming you were small. Soul Linder's dropping a link, everybody. And remember, if you're blue, you can drop your link without asking. So, must have been because you were small. Now, when I was little, I had white hair, believe this or not. I know I'm beautiful with red, gray hair, but I was one of those kids until puberty. And then I turned into more red. I had white hair. I had beautiful white hair and long white. I got pictures of it somewhere. So I had people call me Cotton Top a couple of times, and I didn't like that. Lawson says, I'm going to do a channel, but really it's just for laughs, not for subs. See, there you go. I hope to make it to 560. I'm trying to get to 4,000. I'm about 250 away. To get to 4,000, is my big goal. I got to work. I guess I'm not doing a good job, so I need to get to 4,000. I'm hoping maybe by June. I don't know. If I could figure out maybe I could. I thought about doing live streams with my shirt off, thinking I might get more subscribers. What do you guys think? But I don't know. Yeah, so my nickname was that, all through school, all through that. So nicknames are good as long, one thing I'll tell you, we do live in kind of the, we live in the center part of America. My little brother, I got a little brother who's a big adult now, but went back years ago when my dad got in the habit when he was little bitty to call him Bubba. And I hate the Bubba. I hate that. And I told my dad one time, I said, look, I get you want to call him a nickname, but you need to find a different nickname than Bubba. Because you don't want that kid growing up being called Bubba. Lawson says, I've subscribed to you on my mom's phone and grandma's too. Woo! I think you're my favorite YouTuber. Well, now you're my favorite follower? Yeah, follower, subber. You're my favorite too, Lawson. Life is good. Me and my brothers was called the Beagle Boys. Ooh, the Beagle Boys in school. There was 4 of us. We all played on the football team. That's cool. Now, that's kind of a cool nickname. That's kind of a cool thing. When I was younger, I had blonde hair till I was about 4-ish. Also had blue eyes, but became a childhood meds changed them to brown. Yeah, I got bluish eyes. I know you can't see, but I got blue eyeballs. I used to really have white blonde hair. As I got older, it turned more reddish. Now it's starting to gray. My wife hates my gray. Does anybody else have gray hair? My wife absolutely hates it. She thinks it makes me look old. I think it's cool to look old. But my wife is like, oh, I don't want to walk around with an old man. I'm a young, beautiful Filipina. I need. So she wants me to color my beard. I don't have long hair anymore, so that really doesn't matter. But she's always aggravating me to color my beard. So I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion? Should I color my beard? Is that something I should do? Linder says, I was hoping to stream tonight, but my leg isn't having it to move and sit up. Yeah, one thing I do, when I feel it, I feel it. When I don't, I don't. So it's okay. Well, I'm going to go to bed now since I have another track meet tomorrow. I hope you do well tomorrow, my friend. I'll watch your stream tomorrow. Have a great night. Thank you, Lawson. We will appreciate you. Good luck with your meet and all the good stuff that comes with it. Life is good. I don't. Cut it off. No hair, no gray. Yeah, my wife won't let me go bald. I would go bald. I don't need to, but I would be okay with a bald head. But I like my beard, plus it covers up my big scar. Let's see. Crystal says, yes, you should. Oh, my God, Crystal, you should color your beard. Oh, right, I can't do that. No, I couldn't do it rainbow colors. Man, what I thought about doing, just to aggravate my wife, because that's something I really, really like to do. I got this thing about aggravating my wife, which I enjoy. Because she wants me to color it, right? More like, I guess, this part. I thought about seeing if they got gray. Do they have gray color? And I would do it all gray to make me look older. That's one thing I thought, because then maybe she'd quit bugging me. Life is good as I have lots of gray. Yeah, nothing wrong with gray. But she wants me to dye it, she thinks this looks up. So I've thought about, hey, maybe I should do it all gray while she's not at home. And then she comes home and she can see that it's gray. Do they have gray hair color? Can you buy that? Good luck, Lawson. You got it. Take it from me. I'm in track 2. So Linder says, yes. Got to support each other, cheer each other on, encourage everybody. Life is good. Red, white, and blue hair. Red, white, and blue would be all right. I like purple. My favorite color is purple, believe it or not. I kind of like purple, so I would do purple. Oh, my lily dog. The fish, this is my wife's fish tank. Let me move the camera. She basically just have these fancy-tailed goldfish, and she has some that has like bubble, those big eyeballs that stick out, is what she has. There they are there. And we have a Brachiosaurus in there somewhere. The Brachiosaurus is the algae eater. So one of those armored catfish type things, we have one of those too. But basically they're just fancy goldfish with fancy stuff. And yes, you can buy a gray hair color and it's also purple. Ah, see? I think I might do that. I don't know. We might have to do some kind of vote. Should I trick my wife? Maybe I could do a fundraiser. Maybe I could do, what do they call that? I don't know. Whatever that thing, GoFundMe page to raise money to buy a gray hair dye. I don't know. But I think it'd be funny because she doesn't like the gray to turn it gray. I don't know. I've got plenty of gray hairs, yes. All thanks to you, Dave, driving me insane, brother. Ah, that's good. I'm happy I can help. I'm happy I can help. Yes, you should videotape her. I know, right? Yeah, I could set the camera up. We got a camera that we watch the dogs with. Maybe I can record it. It's in black and white, though. What would be funny, though, is just to sit here, do it, then sit here and have her come in and see how long it takes her to notice. Because I don't think she would notice for hours. I don't think she would notice. But yes, it'd be fun, right? Teach her a lesson about making me do my hair. So, yeah, because she's on me all the time. The dogs are doing good. They've been hanging out today. The funny thing is, we got them on a diet. We got the dogs on a diet because they're definitely too heavy for their breed. They're not happy about it. The funny thing is this. They have learned, and right now they're staring at me. They have learned when I do live streams, when I get done with live streams, I give them a little thing. So Lily, I'll show you Lily. Lily, the red one, is sitting there staring at me and waiting me to get off of this live stream so that I can give her one of those things that start with a T. That's what she's doing. Sometimes you're going to hear her moan and whine. She's going to grunt. She grunts at me when she does it. See her tail wagging? So she knows we're talking about her now. She knows we're talking about her. See? But she wants one of those T things, is what she wants. So, and she knows as soon as, and it's really funny. Lorelai feeds the dogs when she comes home from work at midnight, right? And I feed them at noon. And like last night was Sunday night, so Lorelai wasn't working. So we were in the bedroom watching TV, and the dogs, it was about 10:30, they wanted to eat, you know? And so they're over there jumping on Lorelai. You see her? They're jumping on Lorelai, trying to get Lorelai to get up to go give them food at 10:30. So now she's shamed. So the dogs are doing good. We love our doggies. We're taking them to Alabama with us. Crystal says, dogs are like humans in a lot of ways, boy, let me tell you. These are. They have a lot of different languages. They have, not languages, but sounds they make indicating different things. So Lily, the red one here that you're looking at, is the most vocal. She uses her sounds to get your attention. They also have this, they're wiener dogs, so they're used to going into tunnels and things, right? Is how they're bred. So their noses are extremely hard. And they have this thing where they will drive their nose into you to get you to move or to get you to get up. So there's a lot. They do that with the back of your legs. If Lorelai and I are getting ready to go somewhere and we put our coats on and shoes, and they know we're leaving because they get a T when we leave, right? And so, but if we're not going fast enough, they literally will come and stick their nose in our calves and push us out the door because they want that treat. I haven't had supper yet. I'll have it when I end this live stream. I'm going to have a taco, some homemade tacos, but I didn't have supper yet. Pat says, I got to lay down. My back hurts. All right, Pat. Take care of yourself. Lay down, get some rest. Back hurts, ribs, yes, cold weather. I know. We're ready for the good weather, Pat. We really, really are. So, but take care of yourself there, Pat. So that's what they do. They control this house. I'll come up, you Super Dave. Yeah, Super Dave. Leader of the pack, pack master. Crystal says, I used to eat cat food, believe it or not. Well, I believe it. There's a lot of people, I knew a couple of old women that did it, because they couldn't afford tuna. I mean, I know the myth, but there was a lady, her name was called Tootie. Tootie was her nickname. She was a lifelong smoker. She was one of those ladies that have so many wrinkles, there was no smooth spot on her face. So her name was Tootie. And that's what she had. She ate cat food a lot. I'm here listening. Okay, Pat, yes. I'll come to make you food. What do you want me to make you? To be honest, I'm not real hungry. There's really nothing that I crave. You know what I mean? I like sushi very, very much. And that's about the only thing that I kind of go, man, I'd really like to go have sushi. There's nothing else that I eat a lot of Mexican, a lot of American. I just don't crave anything. So Pat wants some stuffed peppers, though. I like a salad. I've been craving a good salad. And I know what you're going to say. All right, salad's a good, healthy thing. Well, not the way I like them. I want a salad that has lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, lots of cheese, croutons, lots of salad dressing, bacon bits, maybe an egg. I like the big, messy salads. So that's what I like. I like salads that are, chef salads, big salads. I am not, why I ate cat food, I just, no, I used to eat it and it tasted good. Well, that and plants, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I've eaten dog food, made Lorelai mad. She was bitching, or I don't know, we were arguing about the dog food or this or that, and she said something like, well, what if you had to eat it or something? And I went, she's like, ah. So I worked 7:50 to 1 p.m. today. Nice, all right, that's not too bad. Now, I've eaten plants before, watercresset. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to go collect watercresset out of the creek. So I've eaten that one. I've eaten dandelion. You were scheduled 8 to 1. Well, at least you're making good money, right? You're hustling, you're doing a good job, you're making money. Agitator, oh man. So it's all good, right? But staring at me like, yeah, I like to cause trouble. I do. I have no problem with it. I don't. When I was volunteering, though, they were feeding the magpies cat food. Okay, magpies are birds. So I have a wonder if there is a connection. So cat food and birds and cats wanting to eat the birds. All right. I can't remember the level like tertiary, but there's kind of a level of a food cycle where that happens. It's like, the little fish eats the krill, and then the bigger fish eats this and this, and if the krill is poisoned, so yeah, maybe that's why that. So, and what's weird, I'll tell you, is, cats don't eat fish, right? I mean, they're not, if you put a kitty cat out in the wild, they're not going to go get a perch and eat it. But if you give them fish, they will eat it, but they wouldn't hunt it. Solinder says, girlfriend is working late tonight. Well, good. You better be nice to her when she gets home, man. You better be nice to her. You may not get another girlfriend. So, we've all seen you, Solinder. You might want to keep the one you got. Nah, just kidding with you. I noticed bird feed has some good seeds that can be boiled, it does. It does. And you can buy simple sunflower seeds. We really like roasted peanuts. Like if you get a bag of peanuts, we really like eating those in the shells, where you got to crack open the shells and eat the nuts inside. Lorelai and I both really enjoy, I don't know why, but I really like those type of nuts. But I like sunflower seeds. You put that in my salad too, some sunflower seeds. So I really like salads, but they're not healthy salads, trust me. They're not healthy at all, so. All right, my friends, it's almost 10 o'clock in my part of the world, so let's wind this down for the night. I'm gonna have a taco and give my dogs that are staring at me. See? I'll give them one of those tea things. I'm going for round 2, having peanut butter sandwiches. I eat a lot of peanut butter, buddy. I'm a sandwich peanut butter guy too. I eat peanut butter and crackers a lot. I feel like it's healthier than bread. Did you ever try barbecue corn nuts? Yes, I like corn nuts. We buy them at the Asians. We buy the Asian corn nuts, the adobo and those like that. We buy those. And yeah, but I've had the corn nuts. I like corn nuts. I don't like them all that well, but I like them. But I really like roasted peanuts in their shell. When you get to break them open and you mess with it and you take them out and all that stuff. Well, everybody, we appreciate you tonight. Been a long live stream. You guys have done great supporting each other. Remember to do that. We'll try to be back live tomorrow night, Tuesday night. And we're hoping that we're going to get to do a lot of cool live streams in Alabama. I'm hoping I'm going to start doing some morning live streams also when the weather gets warmer. I'm trying to find some locations where I could go and maybe have some coffee in the morning and take you guys out of my house and see some things. So, but we're going to be doing a lot of that. So thank you all for being here. Good night from Pat and Soul Linder. See, I just said the word good night, and Lily's all excited because she knows when I say good night to everybody that she's getting a reward. So, all right, my friends, take care. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe, and if you need anything, let us know. Take care. Remember to go buy stock. We'll see you, Dennis. See you, everybody that's in the house. Oh, I know.